What's going on, everybody? It's Cody. Welcome back to the channel. 2-game WNBA slate on Saturday afternoon, early afternoon. 5K to first. Not sure why we're only getting 5K on a Saturday. It is the weekend and there's a lot of other stuff going on, but no NBA. I was kind of expecting a little bit better prize pool, but I will be live 30 minutes before lock of the first game. So get your coffee if you're a late riser. Or eat you an early lunch and come hang out in the stream. I'll answer some questions. If we get any late news or anything, I'll go through all that as well. But let's look at my lineup for tonight. I mentioned in the live stream, in my video from yesterday, this was a tournament slate, like purely like one lineup, chase the big money. At least that's how I looked at it. Just the way the slate looked, I did not like it. The two games were kind of gross. So I landed on DeShields, 22%, shot 0 of a million to start the game. She's probably just dead, not going to do anything, but 22%, I'll take that on a 2-game slate. Brink, I mentioned in the stream how much I liked her for tournaments. She come in sub 20%, obviously picked up 3 fouls almost immediately. Cardosa, salvaged towards the latter part of the second quarter, but she got pulled pretty early in the first and was just randomly just not playing. Izzy Harrison's playing well. I mentioned her as a cheap pivot option that was going to be low owned. Obviously Wnba absolutely doing Wnba things at huge ownership. I did think that Fee could get steamed all the way up to 75%, and she did. I was high on Airy, 20%. Having a really good game. I'm really happy with that ownership for her. But this is just tournament lineup. I mean, when you build these, you're not expecting to min cash. Like this lineup here is a boom or bust. Like I was trying to get top 10 or miss the cash. So sometimes you take those risks, and I thought that this slate was absolutely one to take. So it is what it is. We move on. So the odds for these games, they actually just pulled the Connecticut Dallas. It was 6.5. Connecticut was the favorite, which is kind of surprising on the road in Dallas. I feel like that's a little bit wide, but Connecticut does play elite defense and Dallas just does not. Liberty at the Aces. Liberty are 2-point underdogs. Over under 170. Like this game is going to be played at such a breakneck pace. I like the Liberty here. They've been off. This will be, when they play tomorrow, they will have had 5 full days of rest. So I love the Liberty side of that. And I'm an Aces fan, so I side with the Liberty there. Starting out, we'll start on the Connecticut side. Alyssa Thomas, 11-1. I mean, when she played them earlier this year, put up 50. Her upside is completely safe. Like, you know what you're getting out of her. Here she had a game where she only had 11 peripheral stats, but she dropped in 20 real-life points. If she scores in double figures, 50 bombs are the norm for her. She's a great rebounder, a great facilitator. Not much needs to be said about AT, always in play at the top. Great matchup as well. Wnba Bonner all the way down to 8,700. This is the time where you can absolutely jam Wnba Bonner and feel really good about it, because once again, she's back to not shooting the 3 ball very well. She's had a couple games, 3 of 4, 2 of 6, 3 of 5, 2 of 4. But if you remember to start the season, 0 for 3, 0 for 6, 1 of 7, 3 of 9. She shot 4 of 16 last time out. In a close game, I expect this to be a close game. She did not play well against Dallas in the game earlier this season. She's going to play mid-30s minutes. She's going to take a lot of shots. And at 8,700, I love her upside in tournaments especially. She is going to score around 20 real-life points. And then if she's going to pitch in these 8 rebounds that she's gotten in 4 of the last 5 games, went over or at least had 8 rebounds, her ceiling can get up there at that price especially. Let's talk about someone that's underpriced. Brianna Jones. We're back. never left. Always been a Bree Jones truther. 7,600 is a absolute joke of a price for Brianna Jones. Last time out against Dallas, she played 30 minutes, put up 28.5 fantasy points. The only thing you worry about with her is possible foul trouble guarding Big T, but at this price, she can easily pay this off even if she does get in foul trouble. One of my favorite plays on this slate. Harris, 6,900. She's playing low 30s minutes no matter what. She's been dishing the ball a lot lately. Like, her peripheral upside has really went up. It's making her much more of a consistent player. And she's been scoring double figures in all of the last 5 games. 33 fantasy points last time out, 30 a few games ago. Don't mind her because the matchup is perfect. It's one of the best in the WNBA. Dejanay Carrington, 6,700. Have no issues playing her. She's really going to pop her ceiling when she's facing Caitlin Clark. I don't know why. But the floor is pretty low with her. That's the only thing, but down to 6,700, so the price is solid. Libby Nelson-Ododa, you can play her if you think Brianna Jones gets in foul trouble, but if Bree Jones does not get in foul trouble, Ono is probably getting 10 to 12 minutes off the bench. So at 4,400, she's fine. Tiffany Mitchell, 4,100. Back-to-back games playing 22 minutes. It's gross, but at 4,100, you can do a lot worse. The minutes are as secure can get for a bench player. 26, 19, 18, 11. That's her lowest. 15, 19, 14, 22, and 22 in back-to-back games. The minutes are there. She's not a good fantasy point per minute player, but the minutes are key. Mariah Jefferson is questionable again. Not sure if she's going to play yet. I don't really have any interest in her if she does play. They gave Burton 3 minutes. Not someone I'm interested in playing. Banham, just another one that I just don't have much interest in playing. Like, she did not even play. She got a DNP against Chicago. I thought I read that right. So obviously can't recommend playing her. Now, would it shock me if they put her back in the rotation here? Not really. But for Mitch, like, Banham's 3,200, Mitchell's 4,100. I would rather just pay $900 more and play the sure thing minutes-wise in Tiffany Mitchell. On the Dallas side, we know what we're getting out of Dallas. They are going to play these big four. I can't include Uzin in this anymore as them playing the starters a ton, because we're going to talk about that here in a second. Arike is going to play every possible minute that she can. 36 minutes, and I was surprised she only played 36 minutes last time out against Seattle in a close game. 8 of 19, 11 peripheral stats, over 20 points in every game this season. She had a good game against Connecticut. 8 of 21, not the best shooting game, but 11 peripheral stats, 21 real-life points. She should get you around 40 every game with the ceiling to go into the mid-50s, even to 60. Obviously, the matchup is not the best, so maybe a slight downgrade to her there, but one of the best tournament plays on the slate, bar none. Big T, up to 9K. I have nailed all of the Big T big games. I don't know. It's like a crystal ball or something, I guess, but I like the matchup here. I mean, her and Bree Jones will go back and forth. I don't mind it. Only 7 shot attempts, but 19 points, 10 rebounds, got a double-double. Big block upside. Have no issues paying 9K for her. That's when I like her the most, is when she's around that 9K range. So, great tournament play. Monique really is starting to settle back into what I kind of expected her. She did play 39 minutes, though. So, there is that. 39 minutes, shot 3 of 10, but 20 fantasy points, 28 fantasy points, 31 and 24. I think her ceiling is truly around 30 fantasy points. I think these 40 bombs were kind of an outlier. I think she's more of like the 25 to 30 fantasy point a game. And at 8,200, that's fine. Big T, though, you just see the upside. I mean, she can get into the 40s and only play 26 minutes. So if she gets extended into like the 30 range, she can really pop. Maddie, 39 minutes, practically played the entire game. I mentioned it before. She needs to get the peripheral stats. If she doesn't, she's not worth playing. Like she won't pay off 7,400 if she does not get any peripheral stats. Just because she's not going to score 30 fantasy or 30 real life points. Like here this game, she put up last time out 16 real life points, 19.75 fantasy points. You need her to get the peripheral stats. I like her as a contrarian play. The minutes are there, but you need her to get the peripheral stats to pay that salary off. Uzan, the minutes have started to come down. Only 22 last time out. She did not have the best game, but I did not think she played that bad, and that is very concerning that the minutes dropped that dramatically. She is 5,700 though, so if you think she goes back to mid-30s minutes, she's extremely cheap for the minutes that she would get. Kalani Brown played 14 minutes. Mentioned this over and over. She's going to play every minute that Big T is not on the floor. If you think Big T gets in foul trouble, you can go to Kalani Brown. But otherwise, she's just left for large field GPPs only. JC Sheldon, name we got to remember. The minutes have been up 17 and 18 the last two games. She's a good passer, getting a few assists. She can grab a couple boards. She's a good defender. Need the points to come up, but she is a fine punt play tomorrow because they're starting to really give her extra run over Uzan. I think a safe estimate for minutes is somewhere around like 12 to 15 is what I feel comfortable with potential to play 17 to 20 if she's playing well. No interest in Lou or Suarez. They're just not getting enough run. The late game, it is going to be a good one. We got the Liberty at the Aces. On the Liberty side, Stewie, 10.8K, just seems way too cheap. We've already got confirmation that Vandersloot is doubtful to play, and Sabali is already ruled out. So that means they are still down to only having three bigs. Stewie, JJ, and Thornton. I would imagine all three will start. Assuming Sloot is out, like I expect, they're going to run those three with Laney and Sabrina. I really love Stewie in this matchup. She's going to play big minutes, assuming the game is competitive like I expect it to be. She could push 36 to 37 minutes. Great score. She hasn't really had those like consistent pop-off games. Like I think she could match Asia tomorrow, and she's $1,500 or $1,200 cheaper. So just an option to think about. John Quell at 10K. I have no issues with her either. If she's going to shoot more than 10 times, every time she does, she's had a huge game. 15 shot attempts, 48 fantasy points. 14 shot attempts, 50 fantasy points. 11 shot attempts, 46 fantasy points. 11 for 36. 11 for 35. Then you got 5 of 6 for 40. 10 of 17 for 40. If she shoots it more than 10 times, more often than not, she is going to go for over 40 fantasy points. It's a great matchup for her. Love her at the top. And we haven't even talked about Sabrina Ionescu, who is, for some reason, priced at 9,200 in one of the best matchups in the WNBA right now. You're playing against a team that plays just incredibly fast and doesn't want to play defense. I mean, Becky wants them to play defense. They're just not playing defense. Love Sabrina. If Sloot is out, obviously, I mentioned it over and over and over again. She has big peripheral upside when Sloot's off the floor. She hasn't really shown it a lot this year, but this last game, 14 peripheral stats with 19 real-life points. She has a 50 burger in her in this matchup. I don't know if it's tomorrow that she'll get it, but she definitely has the upside to go for 50, and 9,200 is a steal of a price for her. Laney is fine. She's going to play low to mid 30s minutes. Great defender. She has been crushing it in the peripheral stats. Only 5 points last time out, only took 1 shot. But if she's going to score in double figures, she is a solid play even at 8K. Thornton, 5,200 is really tempting because she should play around mid-20s to maybe even push 30 minutes. But this last time out, she only saw 17 minutes because she did not play well, so that's concerning. Price is solid, though. Phoebich, 4,900, have no issues playing her. She's seen 22, 17, and 25 minutes of late. She's a great shooter. She's a good player. Like, not enough people are talking about her. She can play. I have no issues playing her for value. You can play Burke, not someone I'll have a lot of interest in. Minutes are just up and down. I think there's better value plays to be had, but if you're making a bunch of lineups, you can toss Burke in. No interest in Dokic or Davis. On the Aces side, obviously, Asia Wilson, don't even need to talk about her. Walking, I mean, she's averaging 56.6 fantasy points a game. Her floor is 50. Her ceiling is 70. She's going to 4X her salary at 12K in a floor game. So she's just as safe can be. Jackie Young coming off a monster performance, and she still didn't match what Asia did in what I thought was a down game for Asia. Late in the game, I was like, oh, Asia hasn't had the best game. And then I looked at her stats, and I was like, oh, never mind. She's got 60 fantasy points. I was all over Jackie Young. 8,800 was a laughable price. We heard no mention of her still being dehydrated or not feeling well. She saw almost full run. She's used to playing 36 to 38 minutes a game. Just went absolutely crazy. The peripheral stats were there. Obviously set a career high in scoring. Big upside. Still love her at 9,600. Have no issues playing her. But we have to talk about Kelsey Plum. She is 8,500, guys. Yes, she is pretty scoring dependent. She did get 8 peripheral stats here. 8, 6, 7, 3, 6. If she's going to get 8 peripheral stats, and she has the potential to go over 20 real-life points, $8,500 is too cheap. She's still getting the usage. With Jackie Young back and playing normal minutes, she still put up 16 shots. The big three for the Aces took like 84 or 85% of the shots for the team. They're just hogging all the usage. They have to if they want to win. I mean, they're playing in these high scoring games. In the past 3 games, they've given up 96, 100, and 99. It's just insane how bad their defense has been. And if their defense is bad and the game is to stay close, their offense has to go nuts. I don't know about Gray. There was a whole bunch of news like she was active but wasn't going to start. Then she wasn't going to play at all. Then she was going to dress but not play. It was a whole big mess. Eventually she will play. I don't know if it'll be tomorrow. Obviously I'll have some more updates in the stream and stuff, but still kind of waiting. Obviously, if Chelsea Gray is to start, and she's going to play 15 to 18 minutes at 6,500, she can get there. If she's going to play around 15 to 20 minutes, she can pay off 6,500. Now, if she's out again, Tiffany Hayes at 6,300 looks pretty good. She saw 22 minutes. Did get in immediate foul trouble as soon as she come in, so she lost minutes there. Didn't have the best game, but the upside is there playing her. Alicia Clark, never a fun click, but she's going to play big minutes. Needs to hit her threes. She's just not going to shoot much. She's not asked to do a lot. If she gets you some peripheral stats, maybe some steals, she can easily pay off that price tag. Kia Stokes, 4,600. It is gross. She has been so bad, but 4,600, if she's not in foul trouble, she's going to play mid-20s minutes. I mean, you could do worse at 4,600. Kate Martin only saw 9 minutes. That is very, very concerning. She did absolutely nothing, had no stats in 9 minutes. She was getting absolutely abused on the defensive end. That's concerning. I don't think I'll have any interest in her if Gray plays or not. If Gray is out, we need to talk about Sydney Colson. Played 10 minutes against Minnesota. Now, some of those were late in the blowout. 18 minutes against Phoenix. Now, let me go back. She did play because Tiffany Hayes got in foul trouble, but she played well, and they stuck with her. They left her out there. She played over Martin in the second half some. 10 fantasy points, 15.5 fantasy points. If you're punting and Chelsea Gray is out, I don't mind Sid Colson. No real interest in Gus or Cannon. Gus back to 4 minutes, just didn't do anything. They were just fine playing small, and I think New York will play right into that. They'll play small when they can, and I just don't think Gus is in play on this slate. Cannon's just not going to get any minutes. Not someone you can really consider either. But I'm really excited for this slate. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like. Really helps the channel grow. And we'll see you for the next one.